Hey everyone, welcome back to Glass Seats. This is Viddy.
And my name is Mrinal, and in this episode, we are covering the Wildcard race.
Oh yes.
We're how many weeks from the playoffs? Like 4 weeks, 5 weeks?
Too many.
Too many. You're ready to go now?
I've been ready since the draft deadline ended, honestly.
The draft deadline. Trade deadline.
Oh, trade deadline. Sorry.
Like, damn, you're just like, I don't care about the whole season. None of it matters.
Honestly, that's how I feel about the NFL sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah,
when I'm like really invested, but
NFL's like only, 16 games, 17 games?
16, but like it's one game a week, right? So,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the fiance is a Broncos fan, so it's tough for me. There's a lot of yelling and cussing on Sundays.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Time to switch to the Chargers, maybe?
True. They're all of a sudden stacked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we are going to be talking about the wild card spot because in those 5 weeks, we got to finalize the playoff picture here.
Yeah.
So the division spots are kind of set.
Yeah.
We got Boston, we got Tampa, we got Toronto.
I think Tampa's in a wild card, but yeah.
Oh, Tampa in the wild
card? I think Florida. You're thinking Florida.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We are focusing on the East for this episode.
Yeah.
So if you're worried about the West, check out next episode.
Yes.
And then in the Metro, it's what? New York,
Carolina,
and Philly.
Philly by a thread right now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a realistic possibility where Washington takes that spot from them.
Oh, man.
And Philly misses, so.
Really? They're that close?
Yeah, it's a 70. As of right now, it's Wednesday, March 20th, and granted, the Washington game against Toronto just ended, but it's a 75-78, and Washington has a game in hand on them.
Ooh.
So it is close. It is
close.
It is possible.
Close, possible.
Yeah.
But I think the real heat is on that last wildcard spot.
So that game became comical.
Which game?
Just the last spot. Like Detroit had it in the bag and then decided to lose 7 in a row.
And now it's like 3 teams just being like, you take it, now you take it. One of them being Washington.
Yeah.
Detroit has been in that spot like most of the season.
Yeah.
And it's suddenly fallen out.
Yeah.
And from the top rope, here come the New York Islanders.
You know what happened too? It's the jersey ad. It's
the Detroit jersey ad?
It's the embroidered jersey ad. They didn't have it ever.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden, and then they put it on and they lose what? Like in the past 8 games, they've won 2 of them, maybe?
Do you know what the ad is for?
Priority something, right?
Yeah. They're a waste management company.
Well,
literally
fitting.
A trash ad.
Well, that's fitting. Oh, okay. I've been seeing comments about. Okay,
no, so it's literally a trash ad.
Got it. Good to know.
And they're trash.
Yeah, full circle.
In their last 10, the Detroit's gone 2-8-0.
Yeah, it's tough.
Washington, after selling at the deadline, has gone 6-4-0, and the Islanders are 5-4-1 after standing pat at the deadline.
Yeah. So this almost doesn't make sense for Washington to make the playoffs.
I don't think they want to. They sold, Mantha and Kuznetsov?
Yeah.
Those are 2 top 6 forwards.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't think they wanted to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. If Washington didn't have Ovechkin chasing the Gretzky record, then they'd be rebuilding right now.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be like straight up San Jose, Anaheim level right now.
I think they're, what's it called? Like retool? Is that what it's called?
I don't even think they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's literally just stay relevant enough to get Ovechkin the record.
I mean, granted what he's done for your franchise, and I think we talked about this many episodes ago, but if he breaks that record in any other jersey, that's going to be devastating.
That's disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
That might be worse than, winning the cup, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Washington has no reason to make this, but here they are.
Yeah. So I feel like this is on Detroit, right? For dropping out.
For losing all those games?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
sure, New York Islanders are getting hot, but did we have them as a playoff team this year?
I think we might have had them as a fringe team at most. I don't know if I really expected them to make it, but all of a sudden here they are. Even like at whenever the Stadium Series game was, they were pretty almost confidently out of a playoff spot at that point. Now there's a legitimate chance. So
see, this is the thing: is you can get hot at the end of the season and go on a run, right?
Yeah.
So out of these 3 teams, Detroit, Washington, New York Islanders, who do you think actually has a solid chance in the playoffs? Should they make it?
Actually, will do some damage?
Yeah, could win a round or 2.
Honestly, I want to say Islanders.
Out of these 3, right?
Out of these 3, I want to say Islanders because Detroit's been so long since they made the playoffs. You never know how it goes out, but they have showtime. Washington, Ovechkin's trying to. I don't think he wants to go to the playoffs. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, I think every player wants to go to the playoffs. It's management. Like the way the team has been managed, they haven't been acting like a playoff team.
Yeah.
Right.
So the fact that they're this close is truly astonishing at this point.
It speaks to, I think, how bad the other Detroit and New York have been.
Yeah, I have went back earlier this season and looked at, early predictions and stuff, and there was a lot of New Jersey for the Cup predictions.
Yeah, that aged terribly.
I mean, granted, again, it was a season from hell for them, but yeah, injuries and whatever other drama amongst the ice, fired coach, just everything went wrong. So.
Yeah. No, but I agree with you. Islanders are the ones that are built to succeed in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Really strong decor, really strong goaltending, and they can weather the storm of like physicality. And I think that's what gets you far in the playoffs, right? And I will say, the more time that passes from Bo Horvat being traded to New York, the more I like him in New York.
Really?
Every time I watch an Islanders game, he just adds a new dimension to that team that I just really like.
Got it. Okay.
Because they've always been this super strong defensive team. They'll win games 1-0.
Yeah.
But adding a Horvat has added this whole dimension where, they can score once in a while. They're not gone completely away from that defensive identity. But Horvat gives them another weapon, and he looks so good there.
Yeah.
It feels natural.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen like a player fit in this well after a trade in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. So amongst those three, yeah, for sure. I'm going to have to go root for Islanders, but it's just hilarious to me that there is a legitimate possibility that, Philly gets knocked out or Tampa gets knocked out. And I mean, what's the worst case scenario? Probably Washington making it. And
yeah, there's a chance two of these teams make it.
Yeah,
if Philly falls out.
Yeah,
right?
like Washington, Detroit. What if those two make it? Like, I don't.
Because if Philly falls out, then yeah.
I was like, I don't think either of those teams are going to do any damage or significant damage in the playoffs. But never say never. So,
so let me ask you this: which one would you want to make it?
Want to make it? I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I want Tampa to make it. I don't hate them as much as everyone else.
No, I think Tampa's making it.
Oh, okay. So who are you talking about?
About these three: Detroit, Washington, New York.
Oh,
who would you want to make it?
It'd be cool to see Detroit make it. Just because they haven't in so long, and it'd be just because they have nothing to lose. Like, I feel like the playoffs was their ultimate goal this year. So if they complete that, really, they have nothing to lose. And when you're a wildcard team that has nothing to lose, apparently everyone on your roster just turns into Wayne Gretzky.
Yep.
So
that desperation hockey.
Yeah, exactly. It happened with the Panthers. It happened with Nashville in, when was that? 2017.
Where they went to the Cup?
Yeah. And damn near won it too. So I want to see Detroit make it, but I think the Islanders have a better chance realistically of doing damage in the playoffs. So really, let's see how this boils down to the wire.
Out of these three, I want Detroit to make it. I want to rewind back to the offseason, and we talked about the Atlantic Division. Who were the three teams we wanted to see make a step?
Buffalo, Ottawa, Detroit.
Exactly. And who did we say did the best job of the offseason?
Probably Detroit.
Yeah. And we crapped on Buffalo and Ottawa saying, yeah, you got better, but look at what Stevie Yzerman did with Detroit. And look at how much better they are. And now you're going to have to compete against that.
Yeah.
And solely and selfishly, I want to be right.
Yeah. This sounds like a pride thing.
This is a pride thing. Yeah. I want Detroit to make it. And I'm not a big Lou Lamoriello fan, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Is anyone besides Islanders players, maybe?
Maybe some Leafs and maybe some Devils fans. He won a bunch of cups in New Jersey, so.
I guess, yeah, but.
So. I don't
Look
care
at what he did to the Stadium Series jersey.
Yeah. And the reverse retros.
Retro,
drains creativity from a team.
Yeah.
So I don't like Lou Lamoriello and his weird rules. So I don't want the Islanders to make it. Washington's sold. They don't deserve to make it.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Detroit.
Yeah. I'm glad we kind of mentioned Buffalo too, because all of a sudden they're looking pretty hot.
Well, they're way too far back.
Of course, they're not the season shot for sure, but Bowen Byram's been killing it for Buffalo.
Yeah,
that Casey Middlestat trade, the 1-for-1.
Yeah,
looking like it's working out for both teams really well.
Dude, I was about to say, I just watched Colorado versus Edmonton. Banger game.
Yeah.
It was last weekend. Banger game.
Yeah.
And Middlestat looks so good.
Yeah. That was the most perfect 1-for-1 trade I've ever seen. Besides, Taylor Hall and Adam Larson.
Okay. All right.
Big Peter Chiarelli fan over here. So
you just lost all credibility.
When did I ever have any? I'm a guy on a hockey podcast.
Yeah, true. Well, we might have some if Detroit makes the playoffs.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. Detroit for the wild card.
Because we need credibility.
Yeah. We also need viewers. So subscribers. We need it all. So,
all right. You got anything else for this one?
I think that's a perfect segue into the end.
If you guys have any other opinions on who can make the playoffs in the East, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, drop a like and hit subscribe if you want more. We're going to be covering the Western Wildcard race in our next episode. If you're listening on audio, leave us a rating or a review. Helps us grow the show. We'll see you next episode.
Bye.